Hey, what's up everyone? It's Cory with the Meals team at Keller Williams. Today, I'm talking to you about the home buying process, so stick around. When it comes to the home buying process, if you don't know what to expect along the way, it can be an extremely intimidating process. Today, I'm going to talk about what to expect and how you can best prepare for buying your first home. Or if it's been a while since you bought a home, we're going to talk about how you can set yourself up for success. For starters, I highly recommend that you talk to a mortgage lender and don't just go with somebody that you find online. Get somebody that you have a recommendation from a friend, family member, or your realtor that you're working with. Whenever you talk to the lender, this is going to do a couple things for you. Number one, it's going to let you know what your budget is, your monthly payments, and what you feel comfortable, how much house you can afford. And then number two, in our market here in North Texas, it can be extremely competitive on certain listings. And if you're making an offer without a pre-approval letter, sellers aren't going to take your offer as seriously. So you definitely want to go ahead and get fully approved, let them verify your income, debt to income ratio, your credit score, and all of that good stuff. The second step in the home buying process is hiring a realtor. When you hire a realtor to represent you as a buyer, you're finding somebody that is going to negotiate on your behalf, somebody that's going to advocate for your best interests and make sure that you're getting a fair deal and not somebody who's representing the seller. A lot of people have the mindset that they need to just go directly to the listing agent, and you need to keep in mind that the listing agent represents the seller. They're trying to get the highest and best offer for the seller, not necessarily for the buyer. So I highly recommend that you interview buyer's agents, enter into what's called a buyer's agency relationship, in which case you sign a buyer's representation agreement, and that way you are protecting yourself and ensuring that you have somebody negotiating on your behalf. Now that you've been approved and you've hired a realtor, the next step is actually starting the home search. You're going to talk to your realtor about the must-haves, including bedrooms, bathrooms, the location, what amenities, do you want acreage or do you want a small lot, all of that good stuff you're going to discuss with your realtor. Once you have that stuff set up, they're going to either put you on a website registration where you can just go on their website and look at listings, or they're just going to have an automatic email go out with new listings as soon as they hit the market. When y'all are out looking at homes and you find the one, y'all are going to talk about writing an offer. What your realtor is going to do at this point is they're going to look at comparable sales in the area to make sure that you are making a competitive offer to ensure that your offer is accepted, but also that you're not overpaying for a home. So whenever you're putting an offer together, there's going to be all kinds of negotiation points, including price, close date, earnest money, title policy, just a number of different things, and I could go on and on. This is where your realtor's value is really going to come into play, and they're going to make sure, like I said earlier, that you're getting a fair deal for you and something that is going to be attractive to the seller to make them want to go ahead and sign and execute that contract with you. Once you get a property under contract, the next step is the inspection. During this inspection period, in Texas we call it the option period, a buyer will compensate the seller for anywhere from 5 to 10 days, possibly a little more or less, and they're compensating the seller for the right to terminate the contract if anything major comes up in the inspection. And typically what happens during this inspection period is the buyer will do their inspection. If something does come up, it's almost a renegotiation period to where we can go back to the seller and say, we found that the AC unit needs to be serviced or the roof needs to be replaced. And at that point, it's a renegotiation and we come to a common ground to where it makes sense for the seller to move forward and makes sense for us to move forward. After we get past the inspection process, the next step is making sure that the title is free and clear, meaning the title company is going to do an abstract of title, a title history search, and they're going to issue what's called a commitment of title insurance. They're going to make sure there's no liens, debts, or judgments against the property, and that whenever you purchase the title, you don't have to worry about any defects to title. The last step in the home buying process is the appraisal. This is where the lender is going to send out a licensed appraiser to make sure that the home is actually worth what you're paying for it. They're going to look at similar compared properties that have sold, that have the same features, amenities, and upgrades to the home that you're buying, like I said, to make sure that you're not overpaying for a property. After you get past the appraisal process, you're pretty much set for closing. You and your realtor will schedule a final walkthrough to make sure that any negotiated repairs have been completed before closing, And once that's done, you'll schedule a time with the title company to go in and sign the closing paperwork. Once you sign, the lender is going to send a wire to the title company to actually fund the transaction. Whenever the seller gets their proceeds and everything's signed by both you and the seller, the home is officially yours and you have successfully completed the home buying process. If you have any more questions about this, aren't really sure what to expect or where to start, be sure to reach out to me. My name's Cory with the Meals team at Keller Williams. My number is 903-821-9326, or you can email me, Cory@themealsteam.com. I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you soon.